Tal Shoam, their neighbor, was put in the trunk, and just before the border they managed to escape. They ran away from the car, jumped off the car, and while the terrorists were running, chasing them, shooting at them, the three of them, Yarden, Alon, and Geffen, tried to run away, but at a certain point it was too difficult for Yarden to hold her little child in her arms, and she had to give her to Alon to be separated, and he saved Geffen's life and came back safely to Be'eri on October 8th. But Yarden had to stop, protect her body from the bullets, and she's been kidnapped and was held hostage for 54 days in Gaza alone, in a house with 3 terrorists. It is a hopeful story because Yarden has been returned to us after 54 days in the last deal. It is also a hopeful story because Carmel, her sister-in-law, who is still in Gaza, we know from people who were released in that deal, who were with her, that told us that she kept their mental health by practicing yoga and kidnapping in very harsh, violent conditions in captivity. Exactly 100 days ago, Yarden got back from the house where she was held, assembled with other hostages, and waited for the whole day for Carmel to join them to get back home. In the end, just before they were released, she left her a note, and she said, "We love you, we are not giving up on you." And I think that none of us can give up on our loved ones or people who are held in hell, but at the same time we can be hopeful, and I believe that as my sister came back, all of your loved ones can come back. And I think it's a lot about you as well. At the moment, Hamas is watching every news report, every political statement to see if the world is backing this deal, or can they postpone it and manipulate us. In the end, we all need to push them to do the humanitarian thing and to agree to the humanitarian deal that is on the table. This is what can save our family member. This is what saves my sister, and we are waiting for Carmel, we are waiting for Tal, we are waiting for everyone. But I want to say again, it is also about you. It's about your messaging. It's about your stand, and we all need to be very firm that at this point we need to see all of them back.
Good morning. My name is Inbal. I'm cousin of Tal. Tal was kidnapped from Kibbutz Be'eri with his wife and the kids. In my family, 7 people kidnapped and 3 were murdered. Now I can tell that Tal saved their life. They started to burn the house and to get on the house with D9, and Tal talked with the terrorist outside, and he asked them, "Take me and keep the wife and the kids inside safe." So Tal was taken first, and then Alon and Yarden saw him in the trunk when they put him in the trunk of the car. I don't know if he knows that at the end the kids also were kidnapped and released in the deal in the day 50. They are here in the house, and we are taking care of them, but they cannot be healing without the father. Tal is family. The family is the first thing on his life. The most important thing for him is the kids, Yael and Naveh. Yael asked for her birthday for all the fathers to come back home. She celebrate 4. Just one day after Tal, we celebrate for Tal in the Kikar in Tel Aviv, and we asked Yael, "What you want for your birthday?" She said, I want all the daddies come back home. She don't know there is soldiers and other young ladies. Today it's 153 days, 5 months. We need them back home, all of them, and we need you to do actions and to talk and to put our stories, our loved ones, in the top of the agenda of everything. Nothing is more important than them. Please look at them, look at all of them. They are family members, they are fathers, they are kids, they are grandchilds, brothers, friends, and it's happened to us. It can happen to you as well. Now it's just knocking our doors, but show us and show them that they are not alone and you are supporting them, your country, and you as people, not just the reporters. We need them back home to heal the family, to heal the hearts of all of us, and to try to make ourselves as a country strong again, but we can't make it without them. Thank you for coming here tonight. Tomorrow.
This morning.
Good morning. My name is Michal. I'm Elia Cohen's sister. Elia was kidnapped from his mother party on October 7th. And on that day, when Elia and Ziv, his girlfriend, started to hear alarms, they immediately ran to the nearest shelter to hide. About an hour later, the terrorists arrived, started throwing grenades and RPGs and shooting live fire into the shelter. Bodies fell on Ziv, and she was buried under the bodies for more than 3 hours, not breathing, thinking like she is dead. And this is how she was saved. And Elia was shot in his leg. He screamed and fell. And the terrorists noticed that and took him from the shelter and throw him to the van and take him to Gaza. Since then, we don't know nothing about Elia. We only know that Hamas does not give them a medicine and he is not treat their injuries, which means that Elia entered Gaza with a bleeding leg that he could lose her. He also experienced an epileptic attack 2 years ago that developed from stress and can erupt at any moment. You know that 3 days before Elia was kidnapped, he came to our house with great excitement to show us the ring he bought for Ziv, with which he intended to propose her soon after the festival. But now he is kidnapped in Gaza. And now I'm asking you, on October 7th, we could not help our lovers, but now we can. I believe that we can see them at home soon. I believe that I would see Elia healthy soon. I believe that I would see Elia and Ziv getting married and starting a family soon. But we need you to press and publicize wherever possible the distress of the hostages. Help us to bring them home.
My name is Orit, and I'm Almog's Meir Jan's mother. Almog was brutally kidnapped from Nova Festival to Gaza on October 7th. Almog, my son, is a happy boy. loved by everyone, by everybody, and sensitive. He has a special bond to his grandfather. His grandfather had a lower back surgery 2 weeks before Almog was kidnapped. The grandpa was handicapped, and Almog showered him on daily basis. Before going to the festival, he showered his grandfather. Think about how it affected us all. How I miss him. I miss the coffee we used to drink together. I miss our arguments and our daily conversations. What a big crisis our life had. Our life come to halt. On October 7th, I was home alone. I really wanted to help to get him, but I couldn't. There was terrorist attack. There were some issues. How much I wanted to save him, but I was alone. Today I'm not alone. There are so many good people surround me who are taking actions to return the hostages. Think of people you know who can help to promote a deal that will bring back the hostages. Today there is an opportunity for a deal. Politician can call to another politician in the Western world. The Israeli government will put the hostages top priority and will do everything possible to bring them home. They don't have time. They languish in Hamas tunnels for 153 days. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Soon we are celebrating Passover in Israel, the holy day of freedom. And we're leaving a chair to Elijah the prophet. I want my son to sit with us. Come join us, and bring the miracle of unity until so that no seat will remain empty on Seder with the families of the abductees. I would like to thank the Israeli forces and the IDF for defending our state and doing everything possible to return the hostages. ושבו בנים לגבולם. Amen. Amen. It means, and boys return to the borders. Amen. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Yehuda Cohen, father of Nimrod Cohen, age 19. And Nimrod was stationed there as an infantry soldier to defend the border. He was kidnapped along with all his team while trying to defend the border, while trying to avoid the invasion of Hamas, trying to avoid the murdering and killing and slaughtering and raping of Israeli civilians. A few words about my son, age 19, he's a boy. A normal boy like every other boy. I got some pictures back 7 years ago where we were in London. He was a 13 years old boy. You can see at Greenwich in London Tower. I just want to say that you have a son, you have a family. We all normal people living our normal life, when suddenly, with no reason, the Hamas attacked our border for the only reason of killing, raping, burning, humiliating, and kidnapping people. It doesn't matter if they are civilians or soldiers. Soldiers were there to defend the border. Soldiers were not there to attack anybody in Gaza. And the simple word is, if 134 kidnappers would be marched from Gaza back to Israel, this whole issue, this whole suffering from both sides will end. So what we want after 153 days, 22 weeks, 5 months, to bring all our loved ones back home. We know he's alive there. Just to give another point of how innocent my boy is, we heard from kidnappers who returned words about him, and one of the things is that the day he was kidnapped, they were asking the kidnappers what medicines they need. He just did a tattoo a week before. And he was so innocent that he was asking if there could be a possibility to bring him a cream for the tattoo. Something that needs to be treated when the tattoo is fresh. I mean, he wasn't there to harm anyone. He was there to defend. He's an innocent boy. Hamas took innocent children, innocent women, and kidnapped them just for the spite of it. And we want them all back home. Thank you very much.
My name is Avivit Yablonka. This is the first time that I talk to English, because I go everywhere when I speak Hebrew. And they said that I must to come and talk about my brother. He only 50. He has 2 children. My mom wants to see him. She wants to see him again. We don't know if he's alive, if he's dead. We don't know nothing about Hanan. We don't have a video or something that we see how they take him to Gaza. Hanan was missing 3 months. 3 months that I think that my brother is not in life. And after 3 months they tell us that he kidnapped to Gaza. But they can't tell us how they kidnapped. Oh, it's like my mom. In Bal, it's like my sister over here. And I ask you, how you can feel like to see her, to see me with my brother, go every day with this picture of me. I don't buy nothing. I go all day with this, with my brother. I'm 48. I have 2 children in my home. I left my home to be here. Only I want to see my brother. I hope that we see him again. I hope that we see everybody come again. And thank you that you come.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for sharing a little bit of what is happening in your lives and your loved one. Yes, please, questions. Lucy, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Lucy Manning. I work for BBC News. Sharing your stories with us. I wanted to ask you if there are reports that Hamas is demanding a total ceasefire, a full withdrawal. Is that something you would wish the Israeli government to accept?
Let's say we wish anything done so the hostages will be released. We're not dealing with politics, we're not a part of the negotiation. We are the victims. And as the victims, what we want is that this issue will end, as I said before. All the hostages will be returned, and whatever agreement it will take, this is, of course, the responsibility of the government. They should do it and make sure everybody will come home. What happened afterwards, if it's politics, it's not our part.
Is that something that will...
I just want to try to reframe what you've asked. Practically what Hamas is asking is to stay in power, and to get more time to do the same as they've done on October 7th as they promised after October 7th. So you can understand how this request or how this dilemma is excruciating to every Israeli person. And I don't think that we should be put on this dilemma. And I think that it's you that also need to be against these kind of demands. They should return the hostages as a part of a humanitarian agreement. That can also be humanitarian, of course, for the Palestinians. But I don't think that even the UK should adhere to a demand of a terrorist organization just to stay in power.
Yes.
John Ray from ITV News. Thanks for sharing your stories. Since you began talking, reports from Cairo say that the ceasefire talks have broken down, that Hamas have left the negotiating table. So what is it that you, who have so much at stake in this, what is it that you believe has to happen now in order for a ceasefire to come in and for your loved ones to come home?
Again, we're not making the terms. We have a direct need, want of our beloved ones to come back. What it takes, it's a matter for the officials to do their negotiation, a matter of this dirty game, what to give and what to take. But I'm saying again, I'm emphasizing again, if 134 hostages will be marched from Gaza back to Israel, all this suffering on all sides will end. How negotiation will be done, we have no part of it, we have no influence.
That would be very frustrating.
That's frustrating. No. Yeah, of course. But that's why we are here. That's why we want to keep this issue on the table worldwide. And as been said here before, this is not only our problem. We are the frontier. What happened to us will happen to every other liberal Western country. This is just the beginning. If they succeed in Israel, they will continue, and they've done it in the past. We know the bombing in Madrid, we know the bombing here in London, in Canada. I mean, this is an international issue, emphasizing the Western world. So this issue needs to end. How it will be, this is the official responsibility to do, not us, governments. But this issue has to end, because there is a local issue of our problem, but it is a general issue worldwide.
I will just say, I think that the answer is pretty simple. Immense international pressure this is what might bring Hamas back to the table. I've met with the Prime Minister of Qatar over a month ago, in the end of January, that we felt that it's a verge of a breakthrough of a deal. We are here now in March, and still there is no deal. I think that it's a humiliating act by Hamas towards the negotiators. And now it's the time for really an immense international pressure for Hamas to get back to the table and agree to a reasonable deal that is the deal which is on the table at the moment.
Yeah, I'm from Channel News, Kieran. Just on the deal that was on the table, I think
it's still on the table.
I think we believe that it would only release about 40 hostages within 6 weeks. Would that be something that you would be in favour of, even though it would mean not all of the hostages being returned?
Let's say every step towards the end, every hostage release is a blessing. Or in general definition, we need to start something. Once some agreement will start, some frame of agreement that will start with the first part, second part, etc., of releasing 40 and then releasing this and that. Starting something that will start is good because it's going to continue. It has a good chance to continue. So we want anything that will start anything, something that will be.
It's good for the families. If we see someone come back, it's good for us. We know that they love that life over there, but now we sit here and we don't know nothing about everybody over there. We don't know if they live, if they dead, and we need to see him. If only one now come inside to Israel, we know that we have hope. This is what we need. We need hope. Yes, please.
Kieran Marks, Time newspaper. Do you get any information or updates from the Israeli government on either the condition of hostages or the state of negotiations?
No, because the Red Cross never got to see the hostages inside Gaza. We don't know about them, no, so the government can't tell us anything because they don't know. This is your time now to also put pressure on the Red Cross, UNRWA, whatever, to send people inside. We need information, we need signal of life from every one of them, and it must be immediately now. They supposed to do it in the last deal 100 days ago. It never happened. And just imagine if your loved ones is there and you don't know if they're alive or not, if you react quietly or you scream to the world to help you.
Yes.
I'll go with the Miocic from News UK. I mean, the stories you told us are harrowing. It's clear from the absolute heartache and the pain that you've been through. On the other side, there is thousands of people from Palestine who are also going through anguish and pain. Considering what you've been through, do you support the ongoing operation that's happening, or do you wish it would all to stop?
We hate to see anyone suffer. Israelis, Palestinians, it doesn't matter. But we are here to get our loved ones back. And if you want to ask someone this question, I think you need to ask Hamas. We all saw them hiding behind children, trying to avoid being arrested. We all saw them firing missiles and hitting Palestinian homes and killing innocent civilians. We all saw them shooting innocent Palestinians whose only crime was that they wanted to get some food for their families. We do not hate anyone. We just want to get our loved one back, and we want to end the suffering of everyone.
You must remember that we didn't start that war. Until the 6th of October, there was a ceasefire between us and Gaza. And what happened on the 7th of October just turned things over and over again. The whole world has changed. Our world has changed. We didn't start it. But in a war, as in a war. And I don't know, but if you know that the IDF is one of the most humanitarian army in the world. And they do help citizens there as much as they can. Little children, old women, of course. So what's happening there, they started it, they wanted it. I don't know what they got in their heads, really. But we have to defend our own people. We want to bring them home. What happens afterwards, it's up to the governments.
We are not politicians. We are family members that wants the family members back home. You know, Kfir Bivas, the baby, he celebrate 1 year in Gaza. Just imagine if it was your child or your grandchild, your brother. They're not just a poster. They are someone's family. They are our family. They are your family as well. They're not only ours. Please try to imagine that they are your family as well. They are not just a poster. Everyone has a family that's waiting for him at home.
Everyone has a family. Everyone has dreams. Everyone wants to live, wants to live. Want to stay.
Hey, Almog and Hanan go only to dance in Festival Nova. They don't believe that someone take him to Gaza. They don't do nothing for them. Why they only could go to dance with their friends, all the friends, they are dead, all the friends of Hanan. Why? Ask them, why you take them? What they do for it? What Hanan do? Why? Because he danced? Why they take him? He do something for people over there? I don't think.
Andy.
Andy here in Daily Mail. I know that today for International Women's Day you launched a campaign with a hashtag Bring Back Our Girls. This is obviously a hashtag that went viral in 2014 when Boko Haram abducted women. It was made famous by leading figures like Michelle Obama. I wondered what you made of the silence of women like that and whether you want to talk a little bit about the campaign.
I think that the fact someone keeps quiet over those horrific stories that we all heard means that they are hypocrites. Human beings are human beings. It doesn't matter if they are Israelis, if they live in Nigeria, if they live here in the UK. We are all human beings, and evil should be destroyed. That's it.
You can add to that how the UN ignored this issue of raping and torturing of women. We have now the report of what happened on the 7th of October of raping and murdering of women, and the Chief of Staff of the UN doesn't want to have anything to do with it, any meeting in the UN to discuss it. So yeah, big hypocrisy is going on.
Yes.
Nick Cullen with The Economist. We're all hearing your pain, but there is a kind of love because just wonder kind of what is it that you say to the families of thousands of Palestinian prisoners, many of whom were also held without trial, who've been taken from their homes, whose loved ones are also waiting for them to come back. So what would you say to the family, for instance, of Marwan Barghouti, who's at the top of the list, I think, for this prisoner exchange? do you believe that they should happen, and what are you doing? What is your message to the families of those Palestinians who also being held?
Excuse me, this is the most ridiculous bat I've heard since October 7th. What is the connection between prisoners that are held, and many of them are trialed
For murder.
by acts of terrorism and murder, and my sister, who is the physiotherapist, who worked with Palestinians in East Jerusalem and treated them and was completely innocent, taken for their home. Why are you asking us this question? It has nothing to do with each other. The fact that Hamas is preferring to deal with prisoners instead of protecting their own civilians, it's a matter of Hamas. We deal with it because this is their demands. Okay? And of course, we are trying to adhere to what is feasible for a negotiation. But really, I think that it's the most weird but that I've heard, and I heard many questions in the last 5 months.
From those who haven't spoken, I mean, do you have any message to the families?
Let me recap on that. First of all, Palestinian prisoners, emphasizing on prisoners, not kidnapped, people who did crimes from murdering, shooting, and held prisoners with all their rights, including visiting of families, fair trial, representation of lawyers. You want to compare it to innocent people who were living their lives and were kidnapped, and we don't even get information are they alive or not, or what their conditions.
Do you think there should be an exchange?
I think there should be an exchange. Yeah, we're willing to give to free criminals, emphasizing on criminals, cold-blooded murderers, for our beloved ones.
But just to add on that, you mentioned Marwan Barghouti.
The suffering of the family of Marwan Barghouti.
You mentioned Marwan Barghouti.
Yeah, the suffering of his family.
Did you check?
Barghouti killed tens of Israeli citizens. Okay, we really, I hope my government will be willing to free him for my son, for my innocent son who never did a scratch to anybody. So if this is a comparison, this is horrifying.
I just wanted to add, you mentioned Marwan Barghouti. Did you check what he did? Do you know what he's sentenced to prison in Israel? He murdered hundreds of Israelis. How can you compare him to Kfir Bibas, who is practically a baby? How can you even compare this? What did he do to anyone?
And he's got visiting rights. Ophir doesn't have.
Another question? Okay.
1 second, Orly.
Yes.
You talk that it's the International Women's Day. We know from first-hand talking about sexual violence against men. I'm sorry, my friends. And you are quiet about everything. How can you sleep at night? By knowing that our brothers, your brothers, is getting, I don't know what they're doing there, what they're doing to them, to the ladies, to the men, to the baby, to the kid. As a woman, I'm terrified for everyone. If the young ladies are pregnant, it's 5 months now. You can't even imagine how the mothers of the women living with the knowing of maybe they having a baby now from the Hamas. I'm terrified for them. I'm terrified for the men, for the old men, for the young one. I'm terrified for Kfir that it might not having child meal as or milk, or if it's not with Shiri, his mom, how you can sleep at night? Look at us, look at them, all the time. Keep them in the top of the agenda. Keep them in the top of everything. They must come home now, immediately now. We want them alive, and we also need the ones that are not alive anymore. Everyone got to return home, and they don't have time to wait. Please put it in the top of everything. Thank you.
One last thing that someone wants to say? Go on.
I just want to emphasize again the sentence, one simple sentence. If 134 hostages will be marched from Gaza back to Israel, suffering from all sides will stop. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll add that none of us would have ever imagined that after 5 months we'd still be here discussing the fate of our hostages. It's horrible, it's beyond comprehension. So we really need you to emphasize their message and to bring it to the UK and to the world. Thank you very much for accepting to speak, and thank you for joining us this morning. Again, for those who are interested in one-on-one interviews with some of the members, please talk to me or to Ilan, I can see him, and we'll arrange that. Thank you very much, everyone.
No, we